Hey guys, so I have a non-duct tape related video for you today, but it might help some of you with some last minute Christmas gifts. These are some really cute taupe type purses, if you can see here. And I didn't come up with the idea, but I haven't found a decent tutorial on YouTube for them yet, so I figured why not. So these are really easy to make, and they're fairly inexpensive. Here are some examples. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you gotta do is find a placemat you like. There are a lot of different kinds and a lot of different stores. I went to Walmart and Target and found a few I liked, like this green striped one, which has a really nice texture. Then there was also this one. I think I found this one at Target. I like the embroidery on this. Let's see. There's also this one, which looks pretty nice too. Just for a few examples. Then after you find placemats you like, you want to find matching ribbons. You might already own some, or you can pick some up at Walmart or Target or Michael's, any craft store should have lots of ribbon choices to match your placemat. So I think I'm going to use this ribbon for this placemat. Then you want to measure out your ribbon to be your handles. So you can do this a variety of different ways. You can just have, like, measure out 2 pieces to be your handles on each side. Or what I'm going to do is lay out the handles in a big loop. So here's an example of one I already did. If you can see, actually 2 I already did, sorry. I laid out the handles and pinned them down in a large loop-like shape and then reconnected them here, and then I'll sew it down. That way, I guess it makes it more sturdy to me. It feels more sturdy if the handle connects all the way down. There's another one down there. That's just a plain red one, but I really like the ribbon on it. Okay, so make sure you, and when you're pinning this down, make sure each length of the handles of the ribbon, you have them the same length. I think I have these at 20 inches, but anywhere between 15 and 20 is good if you want it to fit over your shoulder when you're holding the bag. And then, so yes, go pin that down in that shape. So if you're pinning down the handle, the handle's the way I did it, in the big loop shape, you're going to want to keep the handles even down the length of the bag. So deciding on the length of space to leave between the edge and where you pin the ribbon is kind of depends on you and your choice. And it looks kind of weird looking at it now, but you have to kind of visualize what it's going to look like at the end. So the ends right here, about 1.5 inches of it, or 1 inch or so, depending on how you choose to sew it at the end, will be part of the side of the bag. So you're not going to see that part in the front. So this is actually like the amount of length you'll see in the border around the ribbon. So I chose to do about 3.5 inches, as you can see here, from the edge of my placemat to where I place my ribbon, and it'll be 3.5 from the top as well. And then when you choose your spot, I chose to start it here with the beginning of the ribbon overlapping over the middle. So when you sew the ribbon on, the end of this ribbon, when it comes back around, will be overlapping, and this will be that bottom of the bag, so you won't be seeing the seam of the ribbon. So next, after you start pinning this down, you want to measure out the length of your handle. So I would just roll that out a bit, take your ruler and measure out whatever length you want and mark it with a pen or marker, and then turn this back around, loop it over so you can, and pin where that mark is at the right spot. Okay? So once you mark out the length of the handle, you want to match it up. So here's the mark I made for the length I wanted it. Then you want to match up the side of your placemat with the mark, and then pin it down the right length from the top. And then once you got that done, continue pinning down all the way to the edge, and do the same thing with the other handle until you get to this edge again. So once you're done, it should look something like this. And if you did it like me, and you have this overlap of ribbon right here, you can take a lighter, or if you need an adult to help you, get an adult to help you, and briefly, really quickly run a flame across the edge of this to seal in these frays so you don't have fraying when you use your burrs. Do it to both ends. And then once you're done with that, you would go to the sewing machine and sew down each end of the ribbon on both sides. Once you're done sewing the handles on, it should look something like this. And at the top, you can do this too. You can sew an extra box around each end of the handle, so it kind of reinforces it and gives it more strength when it actually is a bag. Now the next step is you fold the placemat in half, and having the ribbons on the inside, or the handles on the inside, or whatever is going to be on the outside of your bag on the inside. So then you can sew each edge here down. And I did that with this one. I don't know if you can see it well though, but you sew each edge down here. And depending on the bag, you might have to sew a little, the placemat, depending on the placemat, you might have to sew slightly more in than you originally would, but because right here there's like a border on this placemat, so my needle wasn't strong enough to go through all of that fabric, so I had to go inside the border. But some placemats don't have that, so you can go right to the edge. Or maybe you have a stronger needle, like a denim needle, but depending on what you have to work with will depend on where you can actually sew. So once you sew each edge, you can inside out the bag and you could be done there. Or what I'm going to do is you can take the bag and sew actually I'll show you, I'll do it first and then I'll show you after. Okay, so if you want to add width or depth to your bag instead of having just like a two-dimensional bag, you can take the corner of your bags and fold, I don't know, I guess you can kind of just see what I'm doing. Fold it so you have like a triangle, and then you can take a pen and draw whatever line straight across, and the width of that line will be the width of your bag. So mine's about 2.5 inches. You can go anywhere, however big you want to. And then you're going to sew along that line. And then you do the same thing to the other side. You draw a line and sew along that line. Make sure whatever you do on this side, you do on this side too, the same width. Okay, so once you're done, I sewed these both here. Then you can inside out the bag and you are done. After that, you can just add embellishments and whatever sort of iron-ons or patches or buttons, anything like that. But I just want to show you this example. This is done here and it has width to it, if you can see. There and there. And yeah, that's done. So once you're done, you can add any type of embellishment that you want to. As you saw in the beginning of the video, here are some of the ones I added. For example, these two are iron-on flowers that I got from Michael's, and you can get iron-on patches like these from any craft store like Michael's or Joann's. Here's another one, and then here's two buttons that I sewed on. These are all buttons, as you can see, and there's one more patch. So I hope this video helped a lot of you out with some last minute craft ideas for gifts, or maybe even for yourself. I know I'm keeping one of these for myself. I do have some more duct tape stuff coming out soon. They're actually, I already made the videos, I just haven't uploaded them yet, so they will be coming soon. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful holidays, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye!